Hi there, I'm Brad. Welcome to the Bristol Show 2025. I am joined by Nuno from Innuos.
Brad, thanks for having us.
Most people will know who Innuos are, but for those who don't, what is it that you guys do?
Innuos focus on the digital music servers and streamers. So that has been our sole focus right from the beginning. We do both the software and the hardware for the systems. So
Yep.
we have the complete control over the ecosystem of what we do.
Yeah.
We're about 50 people now. So the
As a
company has
company,
grown
50
as a
people, yeah.
company. As a company, we're operating in 47 countries right
Wow.
now.
That's almost one country per person.
Yeah, actually, good
Yeah.
point. No, just getting a few more.
Yeah.
And we operate on these countries. Most of the countries we operate directly. So we have a few distributors. We operate directly. We work directly with dealers, which means providing them support and training
Yeah.
and getting them to know the product. So it's an area that's really important for us as
Yeah.
well to provide that direct support to people.
Yeah, absolutely. And so what is it we've got, this monster of a unit? What is this that's sat in front of us today?
Well, this is our debut of the NextGen units in the UK. So we have both the Zen NextGen and the Zenith NextGen. So this one is the Zenith NextGen.
So is this like a flagship model?
This isn't quite the flagship. The flagship is still our statement music server, which is a two-box system with a separate power
Yep.
supply. This essentially is using new technology.
Yeah.
So we've developed a new gallium nitride based power supply, particularly for the CPU.
Yeah.
We also have a new custom designed mainboard on this unit that not only has, we always used customized boards, main boards, but this one now is quite special because we have managed to get it exactly to our specs.
Right.
So the kind of power in the main board as well has been designed for our specs, and we have complete access to all of the features of the main board, to the BIOS of the main board.
Yeah.
Now, for people saying, why is that even important? It's about having very, very low level control of the electronic components. So
Yeah.
this kind of main boards, and because they're computer based systems, they can be very complex.
Yeah.
And they can have lots of things happening in the electronics. And for us as a streamer, what makes up a good streamer is the ability to provide a really clean, well-timed digital signal going into the DACs so that they can perform at their best.
Yes.
So we take a lot of care on that, both from the hardware perspective and from the software perspective, because the software does control the hardware in here.
Yeah.
So we load music into RAM so that the SSDs don't have to work as much, so there's less noise.
Yep.
Our app, for instance, uses push technology, so it doesn't ping the server all the time, so
Right.
the Ethernet is not always working.
Because you've got control of that whole ecosystem, you've really been able to fine tune every
Exactly.
little detail so that everything works to its optimal efficiency.
Exactly. And so we do all the way from the kernel of the operating system, customizing for us, all the way to the base operating system, all the way to the application and to the app. And that's all done in-house.
Yeah.
So we have a team of 8 software developers working exclusively for this.
Yeah.
And it's great to have the software here, and I think that's one of the advantages of being here in Bristol.
Yeah.
Is we get so much contact with our users.
Yeah.
There are people that are coming here for years just to talk. They say, well, I come on purpose
Yeah.
just to talk with you guys.
Well, it's one of those rare opportunities where you can literally walk around and talk to the people behind the products.
Exactly.
And actually, not just a faceless salesman that's sort of making stuff up as they go along.
Absolutely.
People that are involved in the day-to-day of how the product is made, and that's part of the beauty of the show.
Exactly, and for us, not only I'm like to be here directly, but we bring the responsible for our software, we bring the responsible for our support.
Yep.
Sometimes, particularly on the support part, I've talked to you many times, and
Yeah.
discussing this and discussing that. It's really good to put a face,
Yeah, of course.
behind things. So it becomes more personalized.
Yeah.
And that's what we want to offer as an experience as well, both on the software and on the service side of things.
Absolutely. Now, obviously, this is a beast of a unit. Do you do an entry-level range or comparison to this?
We do. So we have our Zen Mark III line, which has been around for a few years now, but that's the music server part. So it has internal storage, it has a CD ripper, so you can rip your CD collection into it. And that will start, the Zen Mini S will start you at about £2,000 or
Yep.
so. So that's becoming a little bit more affordable
Yeah.
in the way it says. It gets the same software as we use.
Yep.
Obviously, it's the hardware that's the difference.
Yeah, of course.
So we have the Zen Mini that has a separate linear power supply. So that's something that you can add on at
Yeah.
a later stage. So you don't have to get it right away.
You can start with the basic unit and then
Exactly.
make it more optimal and more efficient by adding the power supply.
Exactly. And then you have the Zen, which already includes 2 linear power supplies inside.
Right.
And then you have the Zenith that goes for 3 linear power supplies inside. Then, in addition to that, we have our Pulse series. And the Pulse series are great to complement having, if you already have a server on your main system,
Yeah.
and then you want to have other players
Like
around your house, maybe
multi-room.
on, yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So sometimes we were getting asked, oh, I already have one of your units.
Yeah.
I have another system in my office. I would like to have one there.
Yeah.
And there's no point having storage and having a ripper and all that.
Yeah, of course.
So we've created the Pulse line for that.
Because the Pulse being like some of them are small speakers, so you can literally have one in the kitchen whilst this sits in the living room, basically.
Exactly. I mean, and they make a great match. For instance, we have it there together with the Cafe LXX.
Yeah.
For instance, so Pulse Mini with a pair of Cafe LXX sound great.
Yeah.
Very easy to use. You can use the Full Sense app to control it.
Yeah.
So all the features, the streaming service, the integrated library, the search,
Yeah.
all of those things that the team works really hard to do, and we're launching new things.
Yeah.
Every quarter we're launching a fairly large update for free for everyone.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's brilliant. And in terms of streaming services that you can use, because obviously you mentioned you can rip your collection down to this, to a lot of the products. What streaming services can be used with Innuos?
yes. So we have Qobuz.
Yeah.
We have Tidal, Deezer.
Yeah.
High resolution audio. And now with the latest update, we've now have access to Idagio as well.
Wow,
So
so-
Idagio is a classical only
Yeah,
streaming.
yeah.
And we're working with more streaming providers.
Just
as
covering
well.
all the bases, but as you say, because you've got that access to the software and you're creating it, you can make those updates as and when these services become available.
Exactly. And we're working to add on the next version of Sense, we're going to add Qobuz Connect. So we already have Tidal Connect connectivity. We'll add Tidal Connect. We will have further Spotify Connect connectivity as well. So making a little bit justice to our name, the Innuos comes from innovation through open systems. So
Yeah.
we want to keep it open so that integrates with as many services as we can, whilst keeping it simple, nice, and intuitive to use.
Yeah.
That's sometimes the challenge. It's not just adding stuff into the software. It's ensuring that it still keeps simple to use.
Because I suppose that's a really important thing. Some software can be stable, it can be, intuitive to an extent, but if it doesn't have that instant user interface that's easy for people to access, then you're going to switch off and maybe go somewhere else.
Well, exactly. And I mean, we're in the company, even the developers, they all use the system at home.
Yeah.
And despite being tech-savvy people, when we get home, you just want to grab something, put it to play, and that's it. You don't want
So
to mess
not only are
around.
you making it, you're the testers as well.
Oh, yes.
You're the guinea pigs that
Yeah, and we involve the community as well. So
Yeah.
we have our community forum, and we normally always have a kind of a beta option of the next version available, so people can drop us a message, say, yeah, I would like to join the beta.
Yeah.
They can update their systems over the air, so it's very easy to do.
Yeah.
And they can try out the new software. It's really important for us, that part, getting the feedback, because it's such a diverse ecosystem. There's so many DACs, so many different
Yeah.
networks and streamers and so on. It is impossible for us to test every single combination.
Of course.
We take quite a lot of effort on that. I come from a software engineering background, so that comes very dear to me. Whenever we do software, so there's tests during the development. Then once a release is ready, we do full release testing.
Yeah.
After the release testing, we do regression testing to check if anything else has broke in between.
Okay, yeah,
To
yeah.
check all again.
Yeah.
And then after that, it goes into beta testing. So there's quite
So
a
it's quite an
long.
extensive process to get it
Absolutely.
to even to the beta testing. So yeah,
Absolutely.
Well, there we have it. I think if you want to be part of the Innuos community and get involved, get into this and be part of it, like get in touch with your local audio T, book a demonstration, have a listen, and Nuno, thank you so much. It's been an
problem.
absolute pleasure.
Absolutely. Always a pleasure to be here.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for watching, and hopefully we'll see you at the show next year. Take care. Bye now.
Thank you. Bye.